This is Chapter 1 test review video. What is evidence? Items recovered from the crime scene can be introduced as evidence, but exhibits prepared solely for use during trial are not considered evidence. No, that's false. It has to be, that evidence has to be legally admissible. In a criminal trial, the defense has the burden of persuasion that the prosecution's evidence is not sufficient to convict the defendant. That's true. It's the prosecution that has the burden of proof. The defense has the burden of persuasion. Role of the prosecutor. Prosecutors are not ethically allowed to discuss a case with the police prior to the arrest of the suspect. That's false. They have to discuss the case with the police. Role of the prosecutor continued. A prosecutor is ethically required to give the defense all evidence that he or she has that tends to show that the accused may not be guilty. That's true. That's called discovery. They have to show and disclose all their evidence to the defense. If a prosecutor learns of a new, credible, and material evidence clearly indicating that a convicted defendant did not commit an offense for which he or she was convicted, the prosecutor should promptly notify an appropriate court. That's true. Role of the defense attorney. The defendant's right to assistance of counsel is guaranteed by the Sixth Amendment. That's true. A criminal defense attorney must present every possible defense, even though he or she believes a particular defense is frivolous. That's false. They are not required to present every possible defense. Sources of evidence law. Rulings and opinions from a state highest court are automatically used to update state statutes. That's false. Each state will have its own rulings. Burden of proof continued. In a criminal trial in the United States, the defense has the burden of persuasion. This means the defense can try to persuade the jury that the prosecution has not established the defendant's guilt. That's what burden of persuasion means. The prosecutor in the federal courts is the U.S. Attorney. That's the title. The United States Supreme Court's rulings apply to all levels of law enforcement, city, state, and federal, when it decides a case on the United States Constitution and the Bill of Rights. So that's where it applies to all levels. The federal rules of evidence were enacted by Congress. Evidence laws in each state may be enacted by the state legislature. And that is it for Chapter 1 test review.